Hey, good morning. It's Randytbird out here in a nice, cool November morning. Oh, well, I'm all confused this morning. Anyway, out for a ride on the Dyna on November 26th, my last day of my unemployment. I start my new job tomorrow, and looking forward to that. And getting back into a routine. I've just been kind of sitting around, not doing a whole lot of anything here, just riding the bike as much as I can, and just kind of hanging out, trying not to spend a lot of money. Had to watch my budget, so but now I'm gonna be back to drawing a paycheck, and that'll be awesome. But in the meantime, just out for a ride on a chilly Sunday morning. It is it's only in the mid 50s right now, and it's a little windy, but the skies the visibility is awesome today, and got a few high clouds. It's kind of the pattern you see in the winter here. We're supposed to have some rain next week, and possibly temperatures down into the 30s, but it is going to be the first weekend of December, so it's time for that. So but high temperatures are going to stay in the high 60s to up to the mid 70s for the most of December, usually the way it stays. So nice. I got my leather jacket on for the first time since early spring today, so, and leather gloves, and we're all set for today's ride. So don't have a particular destination in mind, just out riding. I just like to go out and ride. I don't need to have some place to go or somebody to see or something to do. I just out ride. I'm sure you riders know that. It works out good for you as well. Hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. We had a nice feed at home, and I went and visited my son, and had another feed, and it was all in all just a laid-back good time. And my son lives in the Phoenix area as well. I'm sure you've heard me mention him before. He's in his 30s, and he worked at the place I used to work. He still does work there after I left. It's been nearly a year now. It's hard to believe, since I left the copier business. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Starting a new chapter here on Monday. So I went to yesterday. There was a kind of a open house meet and greet at the local Triumph dealer. I stopped in there for a while and chatted with a couple of people on Triumphs, both mostly modern ones, a couple Bonnevilles, a couple of speed triples, Tridents, whatever. It was pretty interesting, and for a while I may have to make that again. They have it every month, so this is the first one I've been to, and went and got to show off my T100 a little bit, and just being around motorcycles of a different brand for a little bit. So, of course, here I am back on the Harley today. You can't go wrong there. I had a bit of a quandary today. I didn't know what bike I was going to take today. I was looking at all three of them going, I don't know. Early when I first got up today, it was pretty chilly. It was in the 40s, and I thought, well, I'll wait an hour or two, and I might take the Heritage because it's got the Batwing on it. But now the Dyna won out because I just love the riding this bike. Not that I have a problem with any of the others. It's just I love riding this bike. Pretty breezy out today, but so far we're cutting through it without a whole lot of drama. The nice thing about the breeze this time of year is it blows the smog out, and you get this beautiful vistas out on the highway. And I mean, you can just see very, very clearly, and the mountains behind the mountains that we normally see are very vivid today from what I've been able to see at first. I'll be hitting the 202 here shortly, and then I'll be recording some more in a little bit, but now I'm going to pay attention on this transition, which is always an adventure. We'll talk to you in a little while. Hey, I'm back. Just getting this awesome panorama view here of the mountains. not minding the people who can't seem to know how to drive. Unbelievable. He's going to cut over. Anyway, just beautiful today. As I mentioned earlier, you can see the mountains behind the mountains that we normally see, which means the visibility is probably in the 50 to 75 mile range. It is very windy. I'm running right into a headwind right now, so if I've got some wind noise in the video, I apologize, but at freeway speeds here in Arizona, it's hard to avoid that without doing a voiceover, which to me, not something I like. So just a beautiful day. Like I said, a little breezy. It's supposed to calm down here in the afternoon, and it's the kind of day where a lot of people will just get in the house and fix themselves something to drink and watch football games. And you know, football's okay, but I'm not going to spend my whole day doing it. In my time off, I've watched more college football games than I think I ever have in my life, and yeah, well, that is that. So whatever. I'm not really a big college football fan. Not really a giant football fan either. I mean, it's okay. You know, more of a baseball guy than anything. So yeah, and we had our D-backs in the series this year. Unfortunately, they didn't do too well, but it was a good ride for that team that had lost 100 games the year before. So good on them, young guys. Doing well. It's still a little cool out today, but the jacket is doing its job. I can still feel a little coolness seeping in, but nothing I can't handle. You got guys back east riding in 20 and 30 degrees. You know, well, you got some courage there, man. Something like hypothermia, not something I would prefer to do. Now, I've ridden in high 20 degree weather. I did not enjoy it, I gotta admit. I did not enjoy it. Being cold, even my heavy gloves, which I rarely break out here in Arizona, weren't keeping my hands warm enough. You know, if I was to do it every day like I did back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s when I pretty much just had a bike, you know, I did a lot of cold mornings when we had here in the winters, the late 70s, early 80s. We had a lot of rain, and we had a lot of colder temperatures. You know, things have changed a lot in the last 30 years, but I remember getting to work about frozen half to death, and you know, when the highs were only in the low 50s those days, and the temperatures in the 30s and even high 20s at times. I remember riding home on a New Year's Eve one time about 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was about 26 degrees, and that's probably one of the coldest Arizona rides I've ever done. That was a little brutal for us thin-blooded people down here. There's a guy out on a bagger. Looks comfortable. You got a little traffic this morning. It is a little bit later than I normally leave, but waiting for it to warm up just a little bit. The thing about Arizona is people get into outdoors and traveling all times of the year here. So sometimes the traffic headed north here on one of the main thoroughfares gets a little busy. You know, people do a lot of different things out here. You know, off-road riding. There's always people out on horses and people out shooting out in the desert areas, and people just out there just to enjoy the outside. You know, fishing at the lakes, you know, boating and whatever. There's a ton of stuff to do out here if you got the wherewithal and the means to do it. You know, me, I like riding motorcycles. There's a great view out to the west. Price of gas has dropped out here pretty dramatically. Probably $1.50 a gallon from what it was just a couple of months ago. That makes a a big difference in filling the bikes. I've spent over 20 bucks filling up my Dyna before, and that's extreme, you know, with premium being over $5 a gallon. But now it's down into the high threes now again, and I saw gas for $3.22 the other day, and I hear that out of town it's under $3 a gallon, which is, I guess we're a captive audience here in the desert, but it's definitely cooler or cheaper out of town, and cooler as well. What a beautiful day. I love this cloud pattern with these high wispy clouds. It's gonna be like that most of the winter. I remember when I was out riding dirt bikes when I was a young man, and sometimes you just find a nice place along the trail and stop, maybe drink water that you brought with you or whatever, and just hang out and just look at the sky and listen to the desert. Guy on a lowrider ST. I was watching a video yesterday about a guy's making predictions for the new model year Harley, which models are going to be continued, which models are going to be discontinued, which motor configurations are going to go into, and you know, right now nobody really knows. Harley plays it pretty close to the vest. You can guess and you can speculate. People try to make a lot out of the color charts that are released earlier on, and that doesn't really do much for you. They list the models and whatever, but you know, they'll do what they're going to do, and I personally think it'll be another model year before some of the things they did with the CVOs filter down to the other bagger models. And as far as one thing I'd like to see that model that Harley was promoting and then stopped promoting. It was called the Bronx. It was like a Street Fighter style, the new Sportster, the Nightster platform with the 1250 motor in it. I think that even that with the 975 would be an awesome thing. Having worked at the Harley dealer, I can tell you that the Nightsters, the Nightster S, were not selling. Very rarely did we sell one, and when we did, it was usually to a new rider or somebody, but anybody with tradition was not really buying them. And the discontinue of the classic Sportster really hurt Harley. I think their sales are down this year, and they used to sell every one of those they could get, and any one that it's just, you know, I had the opportunity to ride 883 Sportsters when I was doing test rides for customers, and you know, it is no speed demon, but it is an enjoyable classic styled motorcycle. It's a great motor for around town. They're just great motors, and I don't know, I guess they're gone forever, but you know, Harley could have, in my opinion, maybe figured out another way to keep them going for several more years, maybe exhibitions, I don't know, but they're definitely missed. You have people looking for them. People would come in and ask for the 48s, and we're very disappointed to find out that they were discontinued. And honestly, there was absolutely no interest from traditional Harley riders in the new Sportster platform, which is sad because it's technologically it's nice. It doesn't look like people really want to look at a Harley Davidson, but we'll see. We'll see what they do. Something's got to happen because their sales are down, and their third quarter results were pretty poor, and it was pretty dead when I worked there, and remains so right now, which is, I don't know if it's the economy or just the overall price of Harley Davidsons has gotten really high, and I think they're changing their thought process as far as marketing, and they're marketing to people with more resource. But I saw a lot of people come through there that really wanted to buy a bike that just were not able to qualify for the price and the high down payments that were required. You know, just I've been buying Harley Davidson since the 70s, and it takes a pretty good chunk of money to get into one these days, and the payments are high, interest rates are up, and until that changes a little bit, I think Harley's going to struggle a little bit. And you know, it's not just Harley. Anything that's selling expensive motorcycles, their sales have been slow, and that's going to keep on, I think, until something happens with interest rates, whatever. Now, supposedly the inflation has eased some, but you know, I don't know. It doesn't really show to me. So, except gas is cheaper. That's a good thing. Anyway, it's out here on a cool, blustery morning, riding the Dyna, and again, hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving. You're looking forward to the holiday season. I know I am. And I mean, back to work. It's going to be great. Anyway, this is Randytbird out here in Arizona. Don't forget to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I look like I dropped a couple subscribers here lately, but just like 2 or 3. But that happens in YouTube world. Sometimes the subscribers that subscribe are bots, or they're people just looking to get a reciprocal subscribe into whatever they're into. It really has nothing to do with what we do, you know, riding and whatever. So I don't figure that they stay on really, but we're doing okay, making a few pennies here and there, and I appreciate it all. This is Randytbird out here in beautiful